The South Costa Blanca on Spain's eastern Mediterranean coast is one of Europe's top destinations for residential tourism and retirement. The region attracts expats from all over Europe and increasingly from countries further afield such as the USA and Canada. But is it a dream destination? To help you decide, in this video we will explore the climate, the lifestyle, the cost of living, healthcare, amenities and transport links. All of the things which make the Costa Blanca South so popular. But we're also going to explore some of the negatives and the potential pitfalls to look out for, so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not the South Costa Blanca is the right place for you. I'm James, welcome to Spain Unfiltered. So, let's start with the map. The southern Costa Blanca is a coastal region in the southeast of Spain. Costa Blanca refers to the coastal area of the region of Alicante, and the division between north and south typically refers to the areas to the north and to the south of the city of Alicante. The South Costa Blanca is served by two international airports, Alicante and Murcia, offering routes to and from around 100 international destinations. There are also national transport links such as the A7 motorway and the AP7 toll road, which give motorway links to Madrid and other major cities throughout Spain and Europe. From Alicante, you can access Spain's high-speed rail network, which is the second largest in the world. The South Costa Blanca boasts a Mediterranean climate with mild winters and hot summers. The average temperature in winter is about 16 degrees Celsius, rising to 30 degrees Celsius in August. The region enjoys plenty of sun, with around 300 days of sunshine every year. In terms of lifestyle, the South Costa Blanca has plenty to offer. There are countless golf courses in the region, including the prestigious Las Colinas Golf and Country Club, which was voted Spain's best golf course in 2022. There are, of course, strings of blue flag sandy beaches and marinas offering every water sport imaginable. The area is also home to several shopping and entertainment hubs, including the huge La Xenia Boulevard, which has over 150 shops, bars, restaurants, and a casino. There are multiplex cinemas showing original language films, and of course, thousands of smaller, privately owned bars, restaurants, and businesses. For those who enjoy fresh air, walking and nature, there are nature reserves and promenades for you to enjoy. Of course, there are lots of clubs, societies, charities and groups for speakers of all languages, ensuring that there is a social scene available to suit everybody. Importantly, there's also plenty on offer for the younger generations, so you can keep them entertained when they come to visit, from go-kart tracks and crazy golf to water parks and safari parks. House prices in the South Costa Blanca are relatively affordable compared to other coastal areas of Spain, and the cost of living in the South Costa Blanca is generally lower than in many other parts of Spain and indeed Europe. Of course, healthcare is a very important consideration, and the South Costa Blanca has excellent healthcare facilities. The region has several hospitals, health clinics, and private healthcare facilities as well. Of course, the Mediterranean diet, clean air and mild climate provide massive health benefits both physically and mentally. But it's not all sunshine and stress-free living. While there are many advantages to moving to the South Costa Blanca, there are also some potential negatives that you must consider, especially if you're thinking about purchasing a property there. Firstly, if when you close your eyes and you imagine your life in Spain, you picture whitewashed villages perched on hillsides with quaint little tapas bars, well, then the South Costa Blanca probably is not the right place for you. Yes, there are areas where the vast majority are native Spanish speakers. However, most of the coastline has been developed over the last few decades, with residential tourism as the driving force. Outside of the Casco Antiguo in Alicante, not much is what you would consider to be old, and you'll probably find it easier to find a restaurant serving full English or Swedish meatballs rather than an authentic paella. Now, that's great if you want familiarity and you want the security of knowing that there's plenty of people around you who speak your language, but it's not so good if you are looking for cultural immersion. Extreme weather, such as heat waves, are becoming more frequent, and flash flooding can be a serious problem for some properties if they were built on unsuitable land. When you are looking at a property, make sure you ask if there is any history of flooding, especially if it's in a particularly hilly area or in a town centre. Also, consider whether any property you look at is insulated, not just to keep out the winter cold, but to keep out that summer heat. Check that it has double glazed windows, and if it hasn't, budget to add them. And even if it does have air conditioning, well, set some money aside to replace it if it turns out that it's old and inefficient. On a local level, many areas, but not all, lack good public transport. If you think you are going to be reliant on public transport, don't just assume that because you saw a bus stop nearby, it means that there are regular services. Make sure you research exactly what is on offer in the area you want to move to, because most people find out that they need a car to get around. The huge property boom of the 2000s was mired by corruption. This led to thousands of properties being built without proper planning permission, and then these problems were compounded by the economic crash in 2008. Many properties were not fully legal or lacked habitation certificates, which means that they cannot be connected to water and electricity. Big efforts have now been made by the town halls to rectify the mistakes of the past, and many of the developments which failed during the economic crash have seen reinvestment and have now been completed. A lot of the properties which lacked proper paperwork have now been legalised, and if they haven't been, well, there's often a very good chance that they can be. However, you must make sure that you have proper legal representation if you're purchasing a property there, or you may end up with a property which lacks the right paperwork, or even be past the debts of a previous owner. If you haven't already, please make sure that you check out this video in which I expose one of the biggest mistakes which is so commonly made by Spanish property buyers when they choose their lawyer, and I explain how you can go about finding the right lawyer who will represent you and your interests alone. The link's in the description below. Finally, bear in mind that the South Costa Blanca is a huge area with many different towns, villages and developments. All of them benefit from the advantages which I discussed earlier in the video. However, they all have their own characters, their own selling points, and their own faults. The contrast between municipalities which got their planning right and ensured that properties were built to follow infrastructure and public spaces, and those municipalities which got their planning wrong, where public spaces and infrastructure was an afterthought to intensive building, is striking. If the merits of the South Costa Blanca draw you to the general area, then make sure you have a good look around at all the different locations within it so that you can find the one that suits you best. To help give you a starting point with that, my next few videos are going to be dedicated to diving deeper into some of the most popular locations within the South Costa Blanca and looking at some of the advantages and the disadvantages of those locations. If that sounds interesting to you, please do like, subscribe, and make sure you click on that bell so that you're notified when those videos go live. Also, check out my website, www.spainunfiltered.com. There's a link in the description below. On it, you will find a growing list of articles and tools which are all dedicated to helping make any move to Spain and property purchases there as safe and stress-free as possible for you. If you have any questions about the South Costa Blanca, use the comments below. I do try to respond to everybody, or you can contact me through my website, which is, of course, linked in the description below. So, in conclusion, is the South Costa Blanca an excellent destination for expats, or is it somewhere that a property buyer should avoid? Well, the answer is that it's perfectly capable of being either. The South Costa Blanca is undoubtedly an excellent destination where it is perfectly possible to enjoy a fantastic standard of living in a safe, healthy environment with a great climate and with really easy links to get back home. But there are still some echoes of the corruption and the poor planning of the past, so it is essential that you make sure you have proper legal representation and also that you have a good look around and get to know the area that you're buying in well before you make any commitment. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. There are lots more in the pipeline, so please do like, subscribe and click on that bell, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching.